Hi, my name is Gabe Tesh. Welcome to Inland Northwest Extraordinaires. Today, my guest is Jeff Gerken at AutoNation Subaru. Thanks for coming on and welcome.
Well, thanks for having me, and to be in the presence of a rather extraordinary young man like yourself is an honor. So thanks for including me.
Yeah, thank you. So, tell us about your business.
Well, I'm in the retail automobile business, have been my entire adult life. It's a very dynamic, ever-changing business with a lot of different vectors and opportunities outside of the dealership, if you will.
Yeah, that is super cool. So, now that we know what you do, tell us something that most people don't know about your business.
Well, in today's world, as we have evolved in the automobile business, there's a social consciousness that needs to be interjected. What can you put back into the community? And I think it's at a precipice now where people are just becoming aware how the local automobile dealers is trying to help make the world better.
So, you guys have the Drive for Pink thing that supports breast cancer and stuff. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, the founder of AutoNation was a gentleman by the name of Wayne Huizinga, and he's best known for having established the Blockbuster video rental thing. I mean, this is pre-digital, obviously pre-you, but and he sold it off at the right time and invested in the automobile business. Shortly thereafter, his wife was stricken with a form of cancer, and he went through the therapy of trying to get his wife well. Well, it wasn't so much getting his wife well that affected Wayne. It was watching other people go through this process and understanding that they needed a lot of help. So he dedicated the large group of automobile dealers, 380 some today, to be a foundation to raise money to help people get through this crisis in their life. Puts a lot back into his employees. For instance, every employee, some 20 odd thousand plus, has cancer insurance at no charge to them in the AutoNation family.
Wow, that is so neat.
It very much is.
So, how long has this been going on?
I'd say the last 12 years, and it started off as a thought and has grown exponentially. I mean, they've raised close to $30 million for cancer support.
That is a lot of money in 12 years.
It sure is.
That is so cool. So sharing experience that impacted your business.
Well, as far as this social consciousness thing, I was involved in an event. It was called One Lap of America. It was sponsored by and run by Car and Driver magazine. It was bequeathed from the Sea to Shining Sea Memorial Trophy Dash, which was an illegal road race from New York to Redondo Beach. I actually participated in the second one. And then he was popularized with the Gumball Rally movies and then legitimized by this one lap event where you went 10,000 miles in 9 days, and you went from racetrack to racetrack, 150 competitors who raced at every track. Well, when you do something like that, and you're going to spend all that fossil fuel, and you need to have some sort of social consciousness affiliation. So it was pediatric cancer that we raised money for. And one of the stops was at a very famous pediatric cancer hospital in Houston. And they brought these kids out, hairless, drip bags attached to them, and their parents, and they crawled in and out of the cars, and you just really had a great day. And I listened to the stories of the parents saying that, they were literally in the last month of their life. And I don't know if it was the fatigue or what it was, but I mean, it really struck home. And from that moment on, I've really tried to involve myself through my motorsports experience, with Make-A-Wish or any opportunity I could to pass on my life experience to these people who, really didn't have a lot of life experience, and they were in jeopardy of not having a lot of life experience.
Yeah, wow, that's something I bet was super touching. So have you continued that? Is that something with AutoNation? Or?
Yeah, absolutely. With AutoNation's Drive Pink, which you mentioned, there's a great format for that. We're a Subaru dealer, and they have their Love Promise program where each retail franchisor can pick a charity or an effort, if you will, and contribute monies and time and energy into helping the world be better. We've aligned with the Pediatric Cancer Center Inland Northwest, and we raise money for them. Every year we have a Love Promise event where we donate $200 a car we sell. Subaru donates another $200 a car they sell, and we raise, $40,000 to $50,000 in a 6-week period for them. And it's really good to see that our customers come in not only to get a brand new car, but to take part of that social experience. It really benefits all involved.
Yeah, that's super cool. I mean, it's cool to see you guys do that, especially with everything going on in the world right now. And then, I mean, I had brain cancer as a kid, so to see like you guys do that, and I mean, it means so much for those kids and stuff.
Well, and what you do is even more so. I mean, money is money, and money gives us opportunity to make things more comfortable and perhaps do the research for early diagnostic and treatments things. But when you're able to be a survivor and be somebody who's now living his dream, and to go back into that environment and encourage the people around you to have these thoughts and become who you've become, that's invaluable. You can't write a check to make that happen.
Yeah, most definitely. So going back to your business, share a huge challenge you have faced, and how did you overcome it, and what did you learn from it?
Well, maybe the pandemic, as we were discussing earlier, I mean, it didn't even give Harvard business community a chance to, what do you do in the event of a pandemic? I mean, it hit so quickly, it affects so many people down the supply line, and whereas we can't take a TV timeout and just, wait for this thing to fix itself, we have an obligation to keep the economy going. I have 50 employees. My first obligation is to make sure that their families are well fed, well sheltered, well clothed. So we had to find ways to make business continue to happen while we go through this, and still create a safe environment for our customers and our employees. So we haven't solved it, but every day presents a challenge, and we all work very hard to do so. It's certainly the business and economic challenge of the century.
Yeah, I mean, I bet that's definitely a big challenge. I know so many businesses that are struggling with that, and so I bet it's so hard to stay on top of this whole pandemic thing.
It is indeed. And I mean, but the first obligation is you got to stay well, and it's no joke. It makes people very sick.
Yeah, definitely. So what are you working on today in your business? What has you excited?
Well, for me personally, it's the evolution of business. I mean, there's no status quo. You're either growing or you're not growing. And the only way you grow, like in your racing, you have to anticipate what's in front of you. When you get down into a braking zone, or you're going wheel to wheel into a corner with a competitor, you have to have great anticipation, and that's based on knowledge and fact to have a positive result. So for me, through technology, working with my people, understanding my people and how their strengths and challenges affects our business is an ongoing process, and it's what's kept me involved in this business my entire career, and I don't see any end to it. There's that millennial stigma that you all have, and I just totally disagree with it. I have a great group of young, ambitious, transparent, honest, ethical young people that I get to mentor, and that in itself is worth the check.
Yeah, that's super cool. What is your vision or goal for something to do in the community?
Well, once again, working through the assets I have, both with AutoNation and Subaru, and getting in the community, and into the specific environment of pediatric cancer, and give hope. Have people dream that tomorrow can be full of sunshine, and I mean that's everything for all of us. It's just a little bit more critical for these kids.
Yeah, definitely. That's super cool. I mean, that's something big in my life. Again, I've had brain cancer, and I'm on my racing journey right now, actually, and to show kids that they can do something extraordinary, like become an astronaut after going for this big thing that they got me for is definitely something that I want to do, and so to see you guys doing that is super cool.
Well, I want to help you do it.
Thank you. Okay, so I'd like to ask you some more personal questions. What is one habit that has led to success in business and in your life?
Well, we were just discussing that. It's consistency. I mean, you have to be successful. You have to have a repetitive nature. You find something that works for you, and you repeat the process day in and day out. Do you never grow? Do you never change? Of course not. You expand from there, but you've got to find those early wins in the day. Coached basketball for 10 years and started out with feeder teams. And I tell my kids, make your bed, start out with a win. And that goes throughout the entire course of life. Get a win early in the day, early in the season, and then you can build on a winning nature. If you get yourself up and expose yourself to lack of success, then unfortunately that's what's going to follow.
Yeah, that's so funny you say that about making your bed, because that's something my dad actually tells me every day.
Absolutely.
The first thing you wake up is make your bed, and
Yep.
that's the first victory of the day. So it's super funny to hear that from someone else too. And also, like, going back to the consistent thing, that's something super big in racing, and that's what I've learned is always staying consistent, doing the same thing over and over again, and you can just grow from that. So consistency is super important.
Yep. I imagine Beethoven started out with the scales, right? Just the simple musical scales, and then went from there. So that's what we all have to do, is just start out with the basics and grow it from there.
Definitely. What is the best business advice you have ever received?
Don't follow the money. Don't focus on the money. Don't focus on getting something for yourself. Do something you're passionate about. Do something that makes you dream while you're awake and while you're asleep. The money will follow. I see too many people struggling with their careers, locked up and focused about compensation or advancement or anything personal like that. Feed the soul, and the stomach will feed itself.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if you focus on the money, you kind of lose what you're doing in the first place. So that is super cool advice. Who is one person in the business world you would like to meet, and why?
Well, it's somebody that I know you have great admiration for, and I do as well from afar. And it's Zach Brown. He's the CEO of McLaren Cars Limited. He has his plate completely full with a very active racing schedule, Formula One, Indy cars, et cetera, et cetera. But he also has a car company. He's very diverse in the community, doing the things we've been talking about here. He's very diverse in promoting his sport and the people around him. You can see he's so transparent. You can see it's not about him. He's quick, put his arms around his young drivers or his engineers or his marketing people and give credit to them. And, he's at a level of success that very few human beings get to in their business life. I'd just like to feel the aura of the man for a while.
Yeah, definitely. I actually got to meet him a couple years ago, and it was super cool meeting him. I mean, this guy is so busy running an F1 team, a Le Mans team, an IndyCar team, and now he's trying to get in Formula E and stuff. And it was just crazy that he gave me the time from his day to actually talk to me and stuff. And so ever since then, I've looked up to him because he's a hardworking guy, and I'm a big supporter of McLaren. And so he is a super cool dude, and he's someone I really look up to.
Yeah, and you know what? I've been on the track with him, competing with him, as has your father. And this cat can carry a car. I mean, he drives a very difficult car to drive, and he drives it extremely well.
Yeah, that's super cool. What is a book or resource that has had a big impact on you and how you operate?
This is like old time salesmanship. It's How to Win Friends and Influence People, Dale Carnegie. I mean, it's out of the 40s, and the guy used to travel selling his wares by train. And I mean, it's archaic in as far as how it relates in today's world. But at the same time, the basic principles of how to establish personal relationships. Everything in our life is based on how we get along, and not to do it erroneously or fictitiously for personal gain, but to have a legitimate care and concern about your client, your opponent, whatever it is, and to build that foundation of relationship. It changed my life.
Yeah, definitely. How can our viewers help or get involved in what you are doing?
It's just open your eyes, hit the old Google search. There's all sorts of opportunities to help at whatever layer you can. I mean, from, raking your neighbor's leaves if he's got arthritis, or shoveling the drive, it's just put in front of you every day. If you'd like to get involved with Drive Pink or Subaru's Love Promise, contact the dealership or certainly you, and we can get you involved in it. It's, as John Lennon said, the love you get is equal to the love you make.
Yeah, and those things go long ways. How can our viewers learn more about your business?
Well, once again, hit the old Google search or come down and visit. The automobile business has gone through a great transformation. There's the old stereotypes that, thank God, has gone away. I never understood them even as I was a child, and they are in practice. And we're very transparent now. I mean, we want to provide information. We respect the customer's ability to make sound decisions for themselves. And anything anybody would ever want to know about the intricacies of the automobile business, we're open to discuss.
Cool. Before we finish, can you give us some words of wisdom about business or life?
Yeah, we go through life and we assimilate knowledge and skills and thoughts. And if we just keep them to ourselves, what's it all about? Your real legacy, I guess, what you take with you is how you mentor those around you. You grow the people around you, make a difference in their life. You get them to see from polar opposites, when they're angry or they're blaming things or their lack of success on their what they would think were the uncontrollables. Turn that table, put them in control, make them responsibility for their felicity and their success. So mentor at every level. And I know I'm speaking to the choir with you, Gabe, because that's what you do, and that's what attracts me to you the way I do. But just continue doing that and get as many people around you to mentor. We solve all the problems of the world.
Yeah, definitely. That's super cool. That's something that I've always wanted to do, is mentor kids again that are going through the same thing that I went through, and that's a big deal to me because I want to show them that they can do something extraordinary like I am right now, which is following my racing career. So it was super cool to hear that that's your same kind of deal. Thank you so much, Jeff, for being on our show.
Absolutely, my pleasure.
It was so great to hear about your business and the Driver Pink stuff and on what you're doing for the community. It was awesome to have you on the show.
It's awesome to be with you, and best of luck in your upcoming test at Sebring. I know you got this, brother. Go get it.
Thank you.